Hello everyone. I welcome you to another episode of Coach Stories from the Coaching World. In today's episode, I would like to talk to you about a very common theme that I've been working on for some time as a life coach. This is into career transitions. I specifically take such cases up because today I'm a life coach, but prior to this, I've had worked in HR for almost 15 years and predominantly into the recruitment sector, including the employer relation as well. So somewhere the HR in me is still alive, I guess, and I've found many people via LinkedIn to reach out for the career transition coaching. And why I picked this topic up for today's podcast was I want to share with you some important tips that could help you act as a guide or maybe as an anchor while you plan to make a career shift or a career transition. So recently I had a case where this person was from recruitment into HR, was into doing technical recruitments, working for an IT industry, but wanted to now shift to being a programmer or a coder. Now, it's a very typical case where something very commonly found these days into any HR research report that you might pick up. The number one problem that it presents is about people lacking employee engagement. And why so? Even though we all have studied what we wanted to, and then we took up jobs based on our qualifications. But what has been recently found, and it is almost in all the companies, regardless of the size and structure, that people, most of it, 80%, are not really engaged at work. And the reasons cited are many, but the top three are: one, the jobs are not really in sync with what people really want. Second, it's about the culture of the organization where people don't feel they can grow. And third is again about syncing up the purpose with the interest and what the role has to offer. And that's the reason why I also see that there has been an increasing rise in the coaching cases that I've been taking and assignments, especially on career transition. And this particular case also had very similar patterns where the person was not at all happy with the job. And as I did the first initial discovery sessions, we tried to figure out what exactly was wrong, because what she had studied, what she always wanted to do, she actually got a job in the same sector. But then the one thing that I found, which is mostly lacking in people, and that's perhaps according to me and my own experiences while I coached several such cases, is that we fail to understand the difference between passion and purpose. When we study, when we get qualified, and then we look for a job, we mostly look for things which should resonate with our passion, which should be of interest. And then besides that, we just want to go grab the first thing that comes our way just to feel good, find a job, earn some money. But then this excitement just kind of evaporates because it does not really synchronize with our purpose. And not to complicate this, but purpose, simply put, is something that we deeply care about. So in this given case also, I had been coaching where instead of doing anything else, not even the career transition, I asked this person to first let us explore your purpose. What is it that you deeply care about? You may today want to be a programmer from a recruiter, but not necessarily that this is something that you want to do. So you first need to understand what you deeply care about. What is it that you feel, despite the challenges, the limitations, or the many other things that it might bring in, you still may continue. You have grit, you exercise perseverance, and then you go on doing it. There's a huge level of commitment there, and that is something if we get to know which will be one of the best career guides, using our purpose, using what is that drives us, what we really care about, and then doing a research basis on that and taking up a job will really help us land ourselves into such jobs which we might take up for entire life, and not really get into a crisis situation where we take things up just for excitement, for the money factor, or for the culture, or for the brand. Rather, we think deeply, and it all begins with having a little bit of self-exploration, understanding oneself, what we have been through, our growing years, our teenage years, what is it that we really like doing. And then once we arrive there, we do a bit of research on basis on a qualification, where do we really fit in. So for an HR, somebody who specializes into human resources, they can be a recruiter, but since they've studied behavioral sciences, they have multiple options. People can get into compensation, analytics, data science, training, facilitating, designing, employee relations, or even performance management. So it all depends on what your purpose is. The same principle we applied in this given case, and besides the career transition this person wanted, the most interesting part of this case was it turned out, when we explored the purpose, that it was not as I exactly predicted. The person wanted to be a programmer. It was just the initial excitement, the money part, and sometimes you just like the people in another department, you have a rapport, and you suddenly feel, okay, why not let me try that. So in this given case, we were able to find the purpose, and then she eventually took up what she found, and I was very glad. So here's my small tip to each one of you who really want to make that career shift. I'm not saying not to do that, but do not jump so quickly or arrive at conclusions. Instead, I give you two suggestions. One, hire a career coach. I'm not saying that because I'm one. You could just, it could be one of the best investment, because this will help you take a much wiser decision than you taking it on your own. Second thing, think about your purpose, not just your passion, what brings joy, what brings happiness, what brings money, what brings brand. Know yourself a bit better, understand yourself, connect, know what you deeply care about, know what your values are, and that can form the strongest foundation which can not just help you maneuver your careers but even your life. That's all for today. Thank you so much. Thanks for listening to me. For any further details, you may want to talk to me. You can anytime reach me. This is my WhatsApp number, 9849500557. My website is www.guideadvice.org, and you can also reach out to me at my email address, which I've given along with the link in this podcast series. Thank you so much. Talk to you soon. Bye for now.